Hello friends, welcome to Tebo's World Recipes. Today, we're making one of the most iconic comfort foods ever created, the classic homemade meatloaf. It's tender, juicy, full of flavor, topped with a rich caramelized glaze, and this recipe has been bringing families together around the dinner table for generations. Although many people think of meatloaf as a classic American dish, his history actually goes back much further. Ancient Romans were preparing mixtures of chopped meat combined with bread, herbs, spices, and eggs over 2,000 years ago. Later, throughout medieval Europe, countries like Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Scandinavia developed their own versions of minced meat loaves as an economical way to feed families. When European immigrants settled in America, they brought these traditions with them, and during the Great Depression, meatloaf became incredibly popular because families could stretch a small amount of ground beef with breadcrumbs, oats, onions, and eggs to create a satisfying meal for everyone around the table. After World War II, meatloaf became a symbol of the American family dinner, and throughout the 1950s, it appeared in homes across the country and quickly became one of the nation's favorite comfort foods. Today, meatloaf continues to be enjoyed all over the world. Some recipes include cheese, bacon, barbecue sauce, mushrooms, different vegetables, or even international seasonings, but the goal remains the same: creating a warm, delicious meal that brings people together. In today's recipe, I'll show you exactly how to make a perfectly juicy meatloaf with incredible flavor and a beautiful glaze that caramelizes perfectly in the oven. Remember, all meatloaves, there's many recipes, but this is ours. So gather your ingredients and let's get cooking. The ingredients we're going to need is 1 pound of ground beef, 1 pound of ground pork, 1 pound of Italian sausage, 1 big onion, 3 garlic cloves, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1½ cups of panko breadcrumbs, half a cup of half and half, half a cup of green chilies, optional, salt and pepper to taste, and olive oil. For our glaze, we're going to need 1½ cups of ketchup, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, and that is optional. We're going to start by chopping our onion. We want to chop it finely, as it's going to go inside our meatloaf. Then we're going to chop our garlic cloves, and we want to chop them finely. In a pan, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil so we can start cooking our onions. We don't want to caramelize them, we just want them soft and translucent. This is going to take about 7 to 10 minutes, depending on your heat. And once they're getting there, we're going to add our garlic. We're just going to cook the garlic for a few minutes just to get it fragrant and cooked. Once our onion and garlic are ready, we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to let them rest to cool down for a little bit. Now it's time to start preparing our panade. In a bowl, we're going to add our panko breadcrumbs and our half and half. We're going to incorporate it until all the panko breadcrumbs absorb the half and half and it becomes like a paste. After a few minutes, this is what we're looking for. Now in a bowl, we're going to start preparing our meatloaf. We're going to add our ground pork, our ground beef, our Italian sausage. You can substitute any of these meats for if you want it all beef or all pork. Then we're going to add our panade, we're going to add our onions and garlic, our 2 eggs, our paprika, and our mayo. And now it's time to start incorporating everything. I'm going to do it by hand. If you want, you can use your mixture. Now after a few minutes, this is optional, but I'm going to add these delicious hatch green chilies. I love the flavor of them, but some people also use olives, radishes, any other veggie that you want. I just want to incorporate the New Mexico flavor that I love. These are some big gems and they're delicious. Once we have all the mixture ready, we're going to add it inside a pan, and this is just to give it a shape. You can freeform it as well, if you prefer. I just think this way it's a lot easier, and at least it gives you a guide. Now in a cookie tray with parchment or aluminum foil, it's time to get our loaf out. I should have sprayed my pan so it came out easy, but it still works. Now we're going to shape it into the meatloaf shape and try to avoid the cracks as much as possible. Now we're going to put our meatloaf under the broiler for a few minutes just to create a crust. This is going to make it easier to take the glaze. Thanks to Brian Langerston for this tip. It's time to prepare our glaze. In a pot, we're going to add our ketchup, our brown sugar, our vinegar. I'm using apple cider, but you can use white as well. Our Worcestershire sauce. And our hot sauce. And this is optional. It gives it a little bit of a kick, but it's not hot. And lastly, our Dijon mustard. Now we're going to turn on the heat, medium, and we're going to incorporate the sauce. It's only going to take a few minutes. Once it starts boiling, we're going to turn off the heat and let it rest. Now we've been checking the broiler and we have created a crust on our meatloaf. Now with the crust, it's going to be a lot easier to put our glaze. We're preheating our oven. We're going to glaze our whole meatloaf for the first time. Once it goes into the oven, we're going to be glazing it every 15 minutes until we reach an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit. After the first glaze, we go in and we start counting our first 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we're going to take it out. We're going to check the internal temperature. We have ways to go. And we're going to put a second coat of the glaze. And we go back in. After 30 minutes, we rinse and repeat, check the temperature, and glaze again. We repeat the steps at 45 minutes. And we're getting closer, but it still has a little bit to go. Remember to measure the temperature at the thickest part. This is most likely our last glaze. And we go back into the oven. After 1 hour, our meatloaf looks great, and the temperature is right there. Now I'm going to cover it, and we're going to let it rest for at least 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it's time to dig in. I can't tell you how good this smells. I'm going to show you how juicy this meatloaf is. Look at that. Looks beautiful. And finally, our meatloaf is ready, and as a side dish we've made some mashed potatoes. But before we try it, it's a perfect time for you to click on subscribe to our channel. If you don't want to miss any videos, click on the bell to get notifications every time we upload something new. Leave us your comments and request any recipe you would like to see in the channel. And don't forget, at the end of this video, give us a like. Also, don't forget to visit our store in Amazon, where you're going to be finding specialty ingredients, cooking books, pots, pans, etc. Or our Tebo's World Recipe store through our YouTube channel, where you can find t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, etc. Thank you very much for your support, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And now, it's time to try our meatloaf. And it smells delicious. Wow. The mashed potatoes are a perfect side dish, but the meatloaf itself, with the mixture with the beef, the pork, and the Italian sausage, it's very well seasoned, and those delicious hot green chilies give it that little bit of a kick and that flavor as well. It is amazing. Remember, you can do it with anything that you like, and it's very simple. Hope you enjoyed the recipe, and we'll see you next time.